Hello everybody, and welcome back to the smoke room. We are still in the cellar. We're talking to the grandmama. We also talked to a bunch of people. It was exciting. Got to talk to Ruben. He's the cutest one. He's the rotund cat doll, you know. Come here to me, Mr. Ayers. I hear her before I see her. Murdoch's grandmama. Saw you sling yourself between my grandson, my granddaughter, and her hubby-to-be. Want to tell me what's the crack? Crack? I don't know that word. Hope nothing naughty, as it does nobody a bit of good to go effing and blindin'? In a church, even if it's just the basement. I don't know what the hell she's saying to me, but I start talking anyway.
I think your grandson mentioned once that you think there's something wrong with Echo, yeah?
There is something wrong with everywhere, especially in this country, but it is particularly bad here.
Bad how?
When people aren't content in their community, there's just no genuine sense of communion. They spend all their time withered, knackered, and acting the maggot just to put their minds off how bad things are. And that's just grand until it isn't. And then all of a sudden, everybody else's problems you've been ignoring will become your problem. It's simple enough if you aren't a complete spanner. Sure, look, the trouble is that it's very hard to solve even the easiest challenges when your brain's all what is this? Jacks? I don't know. From being too poor, too hungry, too tired all the time.
It's a hard life out here.
Lord knows it doesn't have to be. Murdoch mentions she believed in spirits. This might be the last moment I have to talk with her about that.
Sorry if it's too personal to ask. But do you believe in evil spirits? Ones that walk this earth, I mean.
Course I do. I call him the Taxman. Of course she's making fun of me. Don't worry, laddie. I'm just taking the piss. My answer is that if you're a Christian, you do. At least a proper Christian. The good book leaves no ambiguity on who holds dominion over the earth, so who knows what sort of access the most manky things in creation have to all aspects of our lives. But if you're not a man who prays, she taps her noggin. There's far older ways than the ones of the Christendom that acknowledge the dangers of spirits.
Do any of those ways talk about how to protect yourself?
Well, that's easy. You avoid it. You don't go pissing off things greater than yourself in the first place. Trouble is, as far as I can tell, the people here are naive, or are nary a whit for who they offered and why. Who offend? Sorry, I'm reading poorly. Offend and why? The treat offense like an invitation more than a warning, and go on making it to a competition. What goes on here feels far beyond standard offense.
So how exactly does a man cause offense?
She leans a little closer to me, lowering her voice. So who'd you kill? Why would she say something like that? She grins. Just taking the piss again, laddie. Your business is your own. But really, there's all sorts of ways to piss off spirits. Something you'll find yourself in a place you shouldn't be, and they don't much like that. Others take offense just to be seen. There often doesn't have to be a reason for a spirit to do you harm, or even disrupt your life, for the worse out of sheer playfulness. Mortal babes can be proper bastards when they play with the various creatures they find in the garden bed, and some spirits are said to tear the strongest men apart in seconds.
She shrugs her shoulders.
The idea is much the same. Who knows if a spirit can understand even its own power?
Then, how can somebody protect themselves after a spirit is angry?
Granny Rowan whistles. There is often mentions of iron chains and babbles made from silver. Though that didn't offer much succor for the USC cities, so I can say with some certainty your troubles here don't come from offended brownies or your cantankerous variety of garden piskies.
I'm sure I botched like every word in that sentence, but it is what it is, guys.
When a spirit is very old and very spiteful, sometimes there isn't very much you can do at all. Though sometimes, when a thing is so powerful, the best thing you can do is humble yourself and make yourself small. Then just go about your life. They might just overlook ya or forget ya. You don't strike me too much as an arrogant man, Mr. Ayers. That alone could save your life.
Sounds to me like you're saying there's nothing we can do when we have bad luck.
Sometimes luck is bad. Though I didn't say you can do nothing. There's one more thing you can try, though it's by far the riskiest.
And what's that?
Find out if your spirit likes to take the piss. If it's playful, it can be fooled. If it has a sense of honor, it might even respect you if you fool it. This, of course, only has a chance of working if you have a good sense of guilt. Guilt? Not guilt? What is this word? I don't know.
Great. So I am completely fucked. What if I told you that I thought whatever thing or things has been making things hard in Echo might be about to make it a lot worse?
I suppose I'd say you might be a bit slow on the uptake, laddie. But it's best to start late rather than not at all.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No need to be sorry, love. He got me started on the other world, and that's all it took to turn our exchange of couplets into an epic poem.
I hope I didn't rob the both of you of writing the next, word. I know you're picky with your conversation partners, Grandma.
You're getting too cheeky for your own good. Keep teasing me, and you'll see just where Maeve aims her wrath in that rewrite.
Marvelous. What I mean is to discuss is that it's been somewhat longer than half an hour. Mother and Father would be back by now, if they weren't held up by something.
The sister whispers something to the priest.
My brothers and sisters, if I could have your attention. It would appear that the conflagration of the Hendrix men's, rather than receding, is only getting worse. I would advise that you head for the downtown as quickly as possible. But as orderly as possible.
You're kicking us out?
Those who would like to stay with us for as long as they wish, though I do not advise it, as we are one of the closer buildings to the active hazard. I myself will not stay due to my poor tolerance for harsh airs, though Sister Frida has volunteered to await the return of Mr. and Mrs. Burns. The fortunate news is that if you are a visitor here, there are ample lodging throughout downtown. A phone call sent from Mr. Testerman's office also announced accommodations at City Hall for those who need it. Noise from the crowd starts like a little trickle of water from the faucet, and then builds into a roar of a torrent. Neil and Ruben ask why the mayor didn't mention the station. Holly asks whether her mother nor her father had called yet. An older woman worries about her family's proximity to the smoke. There's a small tug at my sleeve. Cynthia clears her throat and raises her voice. I think that settles it for us. We should go back to the hip for now, Sam. You have rooms there, don't you?
Cynthia looks taken aback, suddenly addressed by the dog standing close to us. There's usually always something free, though the cheap rooms are usually taken without a reservation.
Money won't be an obstacle.
That's what I love to hear.
I'll be going with them as well.
He looks at me and as if this is a declaration, though a quick glance tells me it's more like he's asking permission. I nod, just barely. They're being all agreeable-like with the plan.
Do you want to come with us, Murdoch? Ralph? I need to know where Grandma will be going first.
I'd like to know that as well. I didn't realize Holly had gotten so near to us. It's my responsibility to watch over her. Murdoch's grandmother sighs. As much as I don't want to come across as cheap, I think it would be foolish not to stay at my daughter's house since she's downtown anyway. Also, that's the most likely place my other granddaughter will be.
My and Ralph's apartment is close to this Sagarara's hip as well, so we can rendezvous at the hotel and sleep at our own place when it gets too late.
Shouldn't we wait just a little while longer to see if Mother and Father are coming back? I'm starting to worry. I don't think it will make much of a difference, love, but we can wait just a little while longer if you like. Normally, I would think it's a bad idea to split up in a crisis, but it's apparent that Holly is trying to establish distance between the two of us. I think it would be a bad idea to push back.
Please go out slowly, one at a time, so not as much smoke can get through the door.
Everyone huddles close, squeezing against one another and the wall as we ascend the basement stairs. As requested, we leave one by one. The moment I get outside, my eyes start to sting, and I lift my shirt. It takes a good 5 minutes of walking to get away from it. Finally.
Christ almighty! Just how much shit does that guy have to have that would make that much smoke?
If I had to guess, it's mostly just the interior structure that's making up most of it.
Even small buildings give off a lot of smoke. Don't any of you remember the press?
I do. I was coughing for weeks.
Just multiply that by about 30, and they don't put out the fire.
Why aren't they, anyway? Don't they have systems in place for this?
You'd think so. The mansion is on the hill, so they might have problems with the water. They had better not, considering all of the plumbing tests they made me do. He speaks. What do you mean by that? They had me conduct more soil tests than I'd like on the bedrock of that hill, just to see where we could install pipes without breaking the foundation. They definitely had running water at the top of the hill.
So why didn't they put it out before it got that bad?
Makes one think, doesn't it?
I'm mostly thinking insurance fraud. How about anyone else? That's my favorite expression of his. He's a cutie.
For his sake, his burns better be authentic.
You're funny, Neil.
Nothing about it is remotely funny.
The rocks beneath our feet crunch as we walk for a while without any of us speaking.
Well,
we change walking directions just a bit as the trio of tumbleweeds pass by us.
If he botched insurance fraud, then at least it would be funny.
Wind whistles past my ear. I think I hear a train whistle. Oh, train. It's enough to make me look at the tracks, at least. Even from a distance, it's impossible not to see the crimson stains against the white pebbles.
Hey, y'all.
I point.
What's the stains over there?
Jim's lips curl in disgust while Ralph crouches on his knees, squinting to get a better look at it. There's another one a few feet away from it.
Another in the opposite direction. That's fresh blood. A lot of fresh blood.
I'm sorry, that looks loud in the levels. They're both right. It's unmistakable.
Maybe they went to the train. Maybe that's the reason why the trains aren't running right now. Did an animal get over there? 3 animals. Right. Those are splatters from clean cuts. Too far apart to be dragged by a vehicle. Revolting. Barely. I see blood every day at work. It's hard to avoid gore when you hunt. I suppose that explains why Jim always skips the Brookhaven hunts. It's a bore. If you're averse to the chase, perhaps. No matter. We can take part in something of a more delicate nature when we reach the hotel. Shall we go?
We let them walk a bit ahead of us. Wow.
Yeah.
They're friends, right?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. People who have had money for a long time will spend a lot of time with other people who had money for a long time. Even if every aspect of their personalities suggests that they shouldn't stand one another.
I doubt they used to creature discomforts. They're probably discovering things about each other they never knew under the stress. That isn't unique to the rich, but when they're born to receive almost everything you ever wanted, I imagine the opportunities to learn through struggle are rarer.
Nobody asked you to make excuses for them.
I'm not excusing them. I just find it ironic that people crave comfort, but that it predisposes you to be worse at sometimes. I'm just thinking out loud. It's hard for me to stop thinking about those stains on the road. It's not ordinary behavior for 3 vermin to just sit and wait to get sliced open by a train, but nobody else seems curious enough to want to talk about it out loud. We keep on following the roads and the tracks until we come along the first row of townhouses. There are a small crowd of people at the crossroads where one might turn towards the mine and the Hendricks Manor. I presume that they're officers at first, considering they have uniforms and they're standing out in the opposite side of the wooden sawhorses with the words barricade printed on the wood. But their uniforms are beige and their caps are rimmed. Actually, here, we will end the part here, I think. So I do hope you all have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.